at once to assume that position. It would not do for her to come here were her grandfather to die before we leave for home. In the first place she would be in the way, and in the second her features and dress would proclaim her to be an Israelite. The people in the villages she passed through might detain her, and insist on her remaining with them; or, should she arrive here, the fact of her departing with us might be made a subject of complaint, and the Israelites would not improbably declare that I had carried off a young woman of their tribe as a slave. Therefore, in all respects, it is better that she should proceed up the river to Thebes. As they are poor, you had best leave a sum of money with them to pay for her passage by boat, and for her support during the voyage. I find that I shall have finished with the steward earlier than I had expected, and shall be starting in about 3 days to inspect the canals and lay out plans for some fresh ones. Therefore, if by that time you have had enough sport to satisfy you, you had best journey back." "My father has consented," Chebron said joyously as he finished the letter. "I felt sure that he would; still I was anxious till I got the letter, for it would have been a great disappointment to the old man could it not have been managed. I will go off and tell him at once. I shall not want you this morning, Jethro, so you can either stay here with Amuba or do some fishing or fowling on the lake. The boat is all in readiness, you know." Chebron went off to the cottage. Ruth was in the garden tending the vegetables, and he stopped to speak to her before entering. "I have not heard yet," he said, "how it came about that you were seized by the crocodile." "I hardly know how it was," she said. "I am in the habit of going down many times a day to fetch up water for the garden, and I always keep a lookout for these creatures before I fill my jar. But yesterday I had just gone round the corner of the sandhill when I was struck down with a tremendous blow, and a moment afterward the creature seized me. I gave a scream, but I thought I was lost, for there are no neighbors within the sound of the voice, and my grandfather has not been able to walk for months. Then I prayed as well as I could for the pain, and God heard me and sent you to deliver me." "It is not often that they go up so far from the river, is it?" "Not often; but yesterday we had a portion of a kid from a neighbor and were cooking it, and perhaps the smell attracted the crocodile, for they say that they are quick at smell, and they have been known to go into cottages and carry off meat from before the fire." "I see you walk very lame still." "Yes, grandfather would have me keep still for a day or two, but I think that as soon as the bruises die out and the pain ceases I shall be as well as ever. Beside, what would the garden do without water? My grandfather will be glad to see you, my lord, but he is rather more feeble than usual this morning. The excitement of yesterday has shaken him." She led the way into the cottage. "Your granddaughter has told me you are not very strong today," Chebron began.
"At my age," the old man said, "even a little thing upsets one, and the affair of yesterday was no little thing. I wonder much that the agitation did not kill me."
"I have satisfactory news to give you," Chebron said. "I yesterday dispatched a message to my father, and have just received the answer." And taking out the scroll he read aloud the portion in which Ameres stated his readiness to receive Ruth in his household, and his promise that no pressure whatever should be put upon her to abandon her religion.
"The Lord be praised!" the old man exclaimed. "The very animals are the instruments of his will, and the crocodile that threatened death to the child was, in truth, the answer sent to my prayer. I thank you, my young lord, and as you and yours deal with my child, so may the God of my fathers deal with you. But she may stay on with me for the little time that remains, may she not?"
"Surely. We should not think of taking her now. My father sends instructions as to what she is to do, and money to pay for her journey up the Nile to Thebes. This is what he says," and he read the portion of the scroll relating to the journey. "And now," he said, "let me read to you what my father says about your religion. He is ever a searcher after truth, and would fain that I should hear from your lips and repeat to him all that you can tell me relating to this God whom you worship."
"That will I with gladness, my young lord. The story is easily told, for it is simple, and not like that of your religion with its many deities."
Chebron took a seat upon a pile of rushes and prepared to listen to the old man's story of the God of the Israelites. Chapter 7